Here's a conversation reflecting on Chapter 6, BTSD equals O.
So today we're jumping into some really potent material. It's from Mark Firehammer's book, The Lens That Changes Everything.
Yeah, and it really cuts to the heart of a universal problem, I think. Why we can have these huge moments of insight or feel incredibly motivated and then just nothing changes.
Right. The change just doesn't stick.
Exactly. So what we want to do here is get past the usual ideas about, not having enough willpower or grit. We're looking for the mechanical reason this happens.
The goal being, if you can see the mechanics, you can stop arguing with the outcome and actually trace the system backward.
That's the idea.
And Firehammer's core challenge is, it's a big one. He basically says it's not that you failed to do the work. The problem is where we've been told to look for the source of the change.
He says we're always focused on the tail end of the problem, habits, actions. But those are just the outputs. They're not the origin point.
So where's the origin point?
He lays out this very clear, repeatable sequence. It's belief, which leads to thought, which leads to speech, which then leads to deed, and all of that equals your outcome.
Belief, thought, speech, deed. So BTSD equals O.
Exactly. And it's crucial to see this as a formula. It's like physics. It's not a motivational mantra.
Okay, I see the sequence. But hold on, isn't this another version of something like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, where you focus on thoughts to change behavior?
That is the perfect question to ask because the distinction is everything. The analogy he gives is just brilliant. Think of driving a car with really bad alignment.
Okay.
The car is designed to pull to the left. Now, you can use all your effort and discipline to yank the steering wheel and keep it straight.
Right, you're constantly correcting.
You're constantly correcting. It's exhausting. And the second you relax your grip, what happens?
It veers left again.
It veers left. That yanking is what most self-improvement is. It's fighting a system that was never aligned in the first place.
So the bad alignment, that's the belief part of the equation.
That's the belief. And it's not an opinion or a philosophy. He defines beliefs as pre-verbal conclusion.
Pre-verbal. So things we concluded before we even had the words for them.
Yes. Formed early, reinforced constantly, and they run everything from beneath the level of our conscious awareness.
Can you give an example? What does a belief like that sound like?
It sounds like something is wrong with me. Or if I slow down, I'll fall behind. Or a really common one, connection isn't safe.
Okay, so let's take that one. Connection isn't safe. How does that run through the BTSD sequence?
Well, if that's the foundational belief, it will automatically generate thousands of confirming thoughts. Paranoid thoughts, suspicious thoughts.
And those thoughts then have to express themselves outwardly.
They have to. So your speech might get defensive or short. Your deeds might be to avoid getting close to people, to push them away.
And the outcome?
The outcome is isolation. It's conflict, which then feeds right back and proves the original belief.
Yeah.
See? I told you. Connection isn't safe. The system is working perfectly.
This is the part that I think really gets to people. I've had that flash of awareness. I see the pattern, but I still end up doing the same thing. Why? Why does the awareness not fix it?
And this is maybe the biggest relief in the whole framework. Firehammer says that's not failure, that's just physics.
Physics.
Yeah. Awareness only reveals the system. It shines a light on it. It does not have the power to interrupt it. Seeing the blueprint doesn't change the foundation.
So knowing your car pulls to the left doesn't magically fix the alignment?
Not at all. And that's the relief, right? If your exhaustion or your resistance is just the result of a perfectly running system, well, it's not a moral indictment of you.
It's just information.
It's valuable information pointing you upstream.
Okay, so to wrap this up, the big takeaway here seems to be, stop fighting the outcome. Stop arguing with it.
Yeah, stop yanking on the steering wheel.
And instead, trace it back. Deed to speech, speech to thought, and all the way back to find that foundational belief. That's where the real work is.
That's where the alignment happens. But, this whole framework, this BTSD equals O, it does raise a much deeper question for us to consider. Well, if these foundational beliefs aren't our personal failures, then where did we get them? If you trace back a belief like, I must always be productive or I'm worthless, is that really yours? Or is that a narrative you inherited from a culture that values output above all else? It starts to open the door to something much bigger than just self-improvement. It points to the idea of inherited civilizational stories we all live inside.
Thanks for listening. Before moving on, take a pause and read the next chapter. The conversation for that chapter will be waiting here when you're ready.